This video is sponsored by War Thunder. The modern Doom trilogy is some of the most fun I've had gaming in the last 10 years. Not only are these games some of the best shooters in existence, they've also revamped the genre and brought a ton of new ideas to the table. I've wanted to do a level ranking of the trilogy for a while, and now that Revelations is out, it's time. Now, of course, these are just my opinions, this video is just for fun, this isn't intended to be a definitive ranking, blah 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 blah, all that ranking video bullshit. I am very much a casual Doom player, and this ranking is my casual perspective. Every level was played on ultra violence and scored based on the experience of playing through them in a story context, meaning your intended arsenal and upgrade status at that point in the game. My criteria was fun, combat, visuals, exploration, and my gut feeling about the level. Big emphasis on that last one. There are no doubt some hot takes in here, and if I really spike your adrenaline with any of them, rip and tear down in the comments. Alright, enough yapping. Let's rank some Doom. We're going to kick things off with an honorable mention, and that's the hub worlds. These include the Fortress of Doom, Ark Carrier, and Purgatory. These aren't actual levels, but some stuff still happens, so I wanted to at least mention them. Purgatory and the Fortress of Doom come close as there's a decent amount to do, including combat encounters, secrets, and even a couple of boss fights in Purgatory. These are cool. My favorite bit has to be the Slayer's room in the Fortress of Doom. The devs were totally goofing off with this, and I love it. This keyboard's way too big. And now for the list proper. Starting us off at number 60 is, of course, the Dark Lord. Didn't see that coming, did ya? Yeah, this is basically the only level out of these 60 that I would say is actually bad. I'm already not a fan of Doom boss fights, and that's all this level is. On top of that, it also happens to be the worst and most frustrating boss in the series. It's fucking so stupid, dude. I don't want to say anything more about it, so instead, enjoy these rage clips. What a stupid fucking boss. What were you thinking, Hugo? Do your fucking attack, you pussy! Making it real easy for me to pick the worst level. That's for damn sure. Dude, terrible. Terrible. At 59, we have Resource Operations. Unlike the Dark Lord, I don't think this is a bad level, but I find it very boring. With it being Doom 2016's second level, the combat is still very basic with little weapon and demon variety. I don't find the layout very fun to explore, and the visuals aren't anything special. Just not much going for it. Again, I wouldn't call this bad, it's just beaten out by everything else. Coming in at 58, it's Argent Facility, another Doom 2016 level. The thing with Doom 2016 compared to the other games is it really takes its time in ramping up the combat and frantic gameplay. Argent Facility is the fourth level, and there still isn't much combat, and the demon variety remains limited. We get some cool interior and exterior areas that look great, but like with Resource Operations, I don't really enjoy exploring them, and it leads to a ton of downtime trying to find secrets and make sure you've covered everything. Just another slow level that can't compete with the rest. At 57, we get our first Dark Ages level with Barrier Core, the first Atlan level in the series. Oh yeah, baby. If I were ranking these on coolness alone, this would be way higher. Visually and conceptually, this level is awesome, with the Slayer mounting up in an Atlan to go Pacific Rim on some bitch-ass titans. The problem is, it's just not that fun to play. You're mostly just dodging attacks and punching, and while you can do what you want, it almost feels closer to a QuickTime event than a regular Doom level. It's also very short, only taking me 9 minutes in this playthrough. Cool as fuck, but drops the ball with the gameplay. 56, Sentinel Prime. Like I said with the Dark Lord, I'm really not a fan of Doom boss fights, and this is once again a boss fight level. The fight itself isn't terrible, but I still don't find it very fun, just frustrating. World's better than the Dark Lord, and even some other fights we'll get to in a bit, but because the whole level is only a boss fight, that really brings it down. I do like the Slayer lore and secrets to find on the way to the arena, but that's about it. And at 55, we're back to 2016 with the UAC. This is more or less a tutorial level, but for what it is, it's done really well. It's a fantastic introduction to this new flavor of Doom game and really sets the tone. The combat is as simple as it gets with only imps and zombies, but despite that, these arenas are still fun and not entirely trivial with you being at your weakest. There's a kind of satisfaction that comes with playing through this one and grabbing all the items and secrets along the way. I don't know, it's just more fun to me than the previously mentioned 2016 levels, and I don't mind replaying it as much. Okay, at 54, it's Siege Part 2. This is the linear level following the big boy that is Siege Part 1, which we will talk about soon. Or maybe not soon. Maybe it's number 1. Nobody knows. Anyways, this is a very standard level. It opens with a turret section, which is just meh. There's a couple of solid arenas and some not-so-secret secrets, but that's really it. Not sure why this Part 2 to Siege was necessary. Could have been one level. Winds up being really forgettable, except for that ending cutscene. That shit is top tier. At 53, we've got Argent Energy Tower, another early Doom 2016 level. This is where 2016 finally starts to pick it up with the combat with the introduction of the Mancubus. But it's still a pretty boring level that I don't look forward to playing through. I really dig that it's essentially a vertical level once you're inside the tower, but it's just a lot of platforming that doesn't feel great. I've heard complaints about Eternal's platforming, but to me, this is worse. I do think it's cool how it's not a super obvious route to climb the tower and you kind of have to figure it out as you go, but still not very fun. It's cool conceptually and the final arena serves up some chaos, but that's all I can say about it. 52 is Argent Facility. Again, but destroyed this time. This is just a better version of the previous Argent Facility level with better combat, arenas, and a crazy Mars hellstorm going on around you. But it's still mostly the same level layout, which sucks because I already didn't like exploring it the first time around. It's better than the not destroyed version, but not by much. Pretty forgettable. At 51, it's Final Battle from Dark Ages. It's kind of a miracle this one is as high as it is for me. This is an Atlan level with a boss fight, and then a boots on the ground boss fight after that. All my favorite shit. But this one has a few things going for it. Firstly, the Atlan gameplay is actually pretty good here, and the fight against the old one is one of the coolest set pieces in the whole series. Along with that, the Azrak boss fight, while still being another annoying Doom boss, is one of the better ones. Maybe even the best one. Oh, what happened to his penis? Asscrack got no penis. Once again, if we were ranking these on cool factor alone, it's an easy top 10. But gameplay-wise, it just doesn't hold a candle to the more traditional levels. At number 50, it's Hebeth. I have a feeling this is a hot take. This one hits similar to Siege Part 2 for me in that it's a linear level that's kind of forgettable. The interior sections are my least favorite part. Bit of a confusing layout and the visuals don't do much for me. The outside sections are much cooler. There's some solid combat here for being so early into the game, and the final arena with the first Demon Leader fight is a nice taste of what's to come in Dark Ages. But overall, it's just not that special. Alright, let's take a quick break from all that dooming to talk about this video sponsor, War Thunder. War Thunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made and is available now for free on PC, consoles, and mobile devices. Immerse yourself in the intense combat of War Thunder, where incredibly detailed vehicles, stunning graphics, and authentic sound effects place you right in the helm of the most powerful war machines of our time. Take command of over 2,500 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships of 10 major nations, ranging from biplanes and armored cars of the 1920s to the fighter jets and main battle tanks of today. And with a comprehensive customization system with countless camouflages, historical markings, and decorations for all types of vehicles, including community-created ones, you'll be rolling out to the battlefield in style. And when you're inevitably taking fire out there, War Thunder shows all the juicy details in X-ray view. I've always loved this bit. So what are you waiting for? Join a worldwide community of over 95 million players and delve into the awesome experience that is War Thunder. You can play for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile devices now using my links in the pinned comment or video description. New and returning players on PC and consoles that haven't played in the last 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack that includes multiple premium vehicles, the exclusive vehicle decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, and 7 days of premium account. It's available for a limited time only, so get on it. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Now, let's get back to Doom. Alright, breaking into the 40s now. Number 49 is Amora. This one is such a mixed bag. Visually, it's a real treat off rip with this massive war happening all around you. You're thrown into a really fun and challenging arena right away before then launching yourself into this massive hell fortress. But that's where you lose me. This double Marauder arena is up there with the Dark Lord in being one of my least favorite parts of the entire series. This ass fucker of an arena. Yeah, it's challenging. They nailed that. But it's also insanely annoying, frustrating, and not fun. Bro! Is there anyone that actually enjoys this? I can't imagine a sane person coming out of this fight and thinking, oh golly, that was awesome. Fuck my ass, dude. There's another crazy arena at the end that I had fun with until my game bugged and wouldn't play the cutscene, so I had to replay it and then couldn't beat it. It's gonna be hard to forgive you for this one, Hugo. The auto shotgun bit at the end was a nice treat for enduring all the bullshit, but really it's just the two fun arenas and visuals that hold this one up for me. I think we all expected better. Coming in at 48 is Village of Kalim, Dark Age's first level. This is kind of a tutorial level, but also kind of not. It does a great job of introducing the new mechanics and combat flow of Dark Ages while still delivering an intense and fun level. You get a nice sampling of the classic linear level design, the new open, choose-your-own-route design, and plenty of fun secrets to find. They even threw in a turret section at the end, tenderizing a Titan. All that paired with some great visuals, and we've got one hell of a start to Dark Ages. Good level, I just can't rank it any higher with the combat being as basic as it is. At 47, it's Foundry. Alright, so my complaints with the other early Doom 2016 levels definitely still apply here, but Foundry manages to be a much more fun level, and a lot of that is due to the visuals and design. This is a 10-year-old game, and this lava-filled facility with its amazing lighting and brutal vibes still has me stopping to look around and enjoy the sights. Look at how nice that is. It's a pretty confusing layout, and the combat is still basic, but it just works better here. I dread replaying the other early 2016 levels, but not Foundry. They killed it with this one. Alright, this is sure to stir up some shit. At 46, we have our first Ancient Gods Part 1 level with the Holt. Oh yeah, 46. So here's my thinking. How much you like this level probably depends on what kind of a Doom player you are. If you're an enthusiast having done Ultra Nightmare runs of every game learning combos, falters, and other shit I don't even know about, then you'd probably rank this level much higher. The Holt is brutal. It bombards you with insane encounters one after another before ending with a boss fight that is made of bullshit. Ugh. Spirits and possessed demons are the worst thing in Eternal, and this boss fight is full of them. 2 shots! Oh my god. And that's Slayer Gate. Holy fuck. Oh my god, dude. My overall critique of Tag 1 is I think they sacrifice fun for difficulty a bit too much, and the Holt is the poster child for that. I originally had this ranked lower because I was so pissed after playing it, but despite the bullshit enemies sprinkled about, these are some of the best arenas in the series, and I have to respect that. And the visuals, especially the forest segments in the beginning, are beautiful. The rest of it can fuck right off. Okay. Forging its way into number 45 is Ancestral Forge. This is one of Dark Age's open layout levels where you need to restart this giant dude's heart to fire up the forge and upgrade your shield. I thought this whole time we were building up to getting this game's version of the BFG, which I would argue would have been cooler, but a shield upgrade is fine, I guess. Conceptually, it's a really cool level, but visually it just ends up feeling and looking like you're in a gray, dark cave for nearly the whole thing. There's some good combat, but also a lot of downtime with the open layout. It's a fun level, just a bit forgettable for me. Alright, time to stir up more shit. 44 is the Blood Swamps. Like the Holt, this was originally much lower on the ranking, but again, I have to respect it for being home to some of the best and most challenging arenas in the entire series. It's also got some pretty neat visuals, being like a Doom Dagobah, but that's where my praise ends. This level is full of annoying shit. Giant tentacles, poison bubble things everywhere, annoying platforming, these wolf circle bits. It was a real patience tester for me on this playthrough. And the boss fight against these fuck-ass cubes was the icing on the cake. I did not handle it well. Are we dead ass with this? Dude! Are we fucking for real? Fighting fucking boxes. Oh man, remember that one fight when you fight the boxes? Like, oh, that shit was so tough. That was so cool. It also introduces the spirit enemy, which are super cool conceptually with you needing to Ghostbusters proton pack them to kill them, but I will die on the hill that they are the worst thing in Eternal. If this level was stripped of all the annoying, unfun bullshit, it would be way higher on the list. 43, we've got Advanced Research Complex. We're back at the UAC for this one, and a lot of this level's early areas feel more civilian, which is a nice change from what we've been seeing up to that point. It's also so sick how the BFG has this whole facility for its research and containment. Makes actually getting the gun feel really impactful. Oh, baby. This is about halfway through 2016, so the combat has picked up a bit, and there's finally some proper dooming going on with some solid arenas. There's also some great secrets to find in this level. Worst part is that bit getting stuck in Hayden's office, though. I went and took a dump during his lecture. I'm gonna go take a shit. At 42, it's Exultia, our first base game Eternal level that isn't Sentinel Prime. This is a good level, but it's that first half that I never look forward to replaying. You're more or less platforming around and collecting new abilities like Dash and Blood Punch. It's like doing chores before you're allowed to go out and play. But that second half is full of cool visuals, good combat, and a taste of Eternal's ridiculous Super Mario platforming. And of course, purple goop. Nobody likes the purple goop. Solid level. 41, we've got Lazarus Labs. More UAC shenanigans. There's some cool stuff to see in this one, like these rooms with demons getting dissected and all kinds of evil fuck shit. Nice place you got here. The combat is good with some fun arenas, but still far from reaching its peak in this game. Level wraps with a boss fight against the Cyber Demon, and while Homie is basically just a bullet sponge, it's a pretty good fight that I don't mind replaying. Not the best boss, but far from the worst. Oh! Overall, cool level with some crazy shit to see. At number 40 is the Holy City of Eratum, the first dragon level in the series. Yeah, bitch. Dark Ages dragon sections are a mixed bag for me. I love quickly flying around the level and chasing the gold ships, but I really don't care for how they design the combat. It's honestly kind of baffling that with all the ways they could have done the dragon combat, they settled on this. Pretty lame and not very fun. But those bits are a small part of the whole experience of this level. Seamlessly transitioning from flying to fighting on foot is awesome, and there are some really fun arenas here. There's also a lot of different stuff to see, and the interiors of those hell ships is so sick. Fun level with a lot of variety. Oh, and you finally get the super shotgun, but they don't really make a moment of it like in Eternal. You kinda just get it. Breaking into the 30s now, number 39 is Sentinel Barracks. Very standard level, but also very well done. In the story, this level comes right before the previous one and is more or less the Slayer taking a little stroll to fetch his dragon. But there's all kinds of goofing off along the way, like playing with the pulverizer for the first time, finding some fun secrets, chaotic arenas, and fighting your first vagary. Very straightforward linear level that's only 20 minutes or so, but it's a very fun, well-paced 20 minutes. At 38, we have Abyssal Forest. This level is such a nice change of scenery with this spooky fairy tale-esque forest. Great atmosphere. This is the level where you head to the Ancestral Forge, which we talked about earlier, and you get to see that massive boy with the massive sword through him, and it's just an insane backdrop for the level. That's a big boy. A lot of good combat here, including your first fight with an Agadon Hunter at the end. My only complaint is I felt there were a bit too many secrets to find, and that really killed the level's pacing. I didn't even find all of them, and it still felt like too much. But other than that, great level. Keeping with the theme of giant things getting stabbed with giant weapons, at 37, it's the World Spear. I don't remember being the biggest fan of this level, but on this playthrough, I actually quite enjoyed it. I don't think the first half is the best with more gimmick arenas and wolf circles, but you do get the hammer, and the arena following that is good fun. The second half after the dragon cutscene I think is much better. There's some nice snowy mountain visuals to enjoy, and that one batshit crazy arena where you get your first hammer upgrade. The end of the level also dishes up some more beautiful visuals to look at and some wild jungle gym platforming. Fun stuff. At 36, it's the infamous Siege Part 1, the open layout Dark Ages level. So here's my thinking. Conceptually, this level is so damn cool, with you basically traversing a large medieval battlefield, fighting everything along the way with all kinds of unique encounters and cool shit to look at. Where it doesn't work for me is the amount of secrets and backtracking required to cover the map and collect everything. I'm sure some of you enjoy that, and I certainly enjoy it in platformers and collectathon games, but not so much Doom. If you play this level just focusing on completing the objectives, I find it so much more fun with great pacing. It's when you're trying to 100% the level that it feels like a chore. Way more so than the linear levels or even the other open levels. But the combat is great, the visuals are amazing, and there's a ton of fun to be had. It just depends on how you play it. At 35, it's the Chasm of Zalgaroth, our first Revelations level on the list. Hope I'm saying that right. Let's talk Revelations for a second. On one hand, I don't mind that the levels require a second playthrough to complete and see everything, but on the other hand, and for the purposes of a video like this, I wish they hadn't done that. If you haven't played Revelations yet, basically each level has a main path for your first playthrough and an endgame path after you've completed the story where you can now access these purple gates which you couldn't access on your first playthrough. No other modern Doom levels do this, so it's a significant change and one that's exclusive to this DLC. So that being said, I am judging the Revelations levels based on their main story path and not considering the extra content that unlocks on a second playthrough. It's a shame, but I think it's the most fair way to judge these in comparison to the others. Anyways, Chasm of Zalgaroth was difficult for me to place. At this point, I was still getting used to the new spear, and the arenas in this one definitely tested me. But they were a lot of fun, I didn't mind retrying them. What makes this the lowest ranked Revelations level for me are the puzzle rooms. I get it, and they fit the theme, but I just don't find them fun, and they bring the pacing to a screeching halt. The visuals, on the other hand, are some of the best in the series. The space is massive, and the layout, super creative. God damn. I think this tops any of the cosmic visuals in the base game, and that was already a really high bar. Basically a fantastic level minus those pesky puzzle rooms. Oh, and that classic Doom Easter egg on the computer in the flashback was awesome to see. That's pretty cool. 34, we're back to base game Eternal with Terrace Nabad. This actually has a similar issue to the last entry, with these swimming segments and puzzles not being my favorite thing and really nuking the pacing. I don't outright hate these, but I don't look forward to them either. Other than that, there's a ton of great combat here, along with the introduction of the Archvile and Crucible. That final Crucible arena is just dumbass fun. One of the best moments in Eternal. The visuals are fine, but nothing very memorable or special. Overall, it's a great level, just clouded by some annoying sections. At 33, we have From Beyond, another Dark Ages Dragon level. I feel like this is just a better, more fun version of the previous Dragon level with faster pacing. Yeah, the Dragon combat is still lame, but you again get to chase down gold ships and zip through the map, which I really enjoy. Visually, the level is really cool with this floating city getting attacked by some big-ass tentacles. There's only 2 boots on the ground arenas, but they are crazy and intense. Really short level, only taking me about 12 minutes, but it's a wild 12 minutes. Really fun. At 32, we've got Hell on Earth. Fellas, this is how to kick off a Doom game. I mean, just a masterclass of a tutorial level. So much so that calling it a tutorial level feels wrong. Hell on Earth perfectly sets the tone for what Eternal has in store for you. There's already tons of demon variety and challenging combat, insanely awesome visuals, and fun secrets. And it does all this without overwhelming a new player. Not to shit on Doom 2016 too much, but it took like 5 levels for that game's combat to even touch Hell on Earth. It's the perfect start to Eternal. The only thing holding it back is you don't have access to Eternal's full combat sandbox yet, but it's the first level, so that's not even a valid criticism. The fact that it's the first level and this high on the list should tell you all you need to know about Hell on Earth. 31, we've got the Forsaken Plains. Another open layout level from Dark Ages, and also the first Dark Ages level set in Hell. Dark Ages Hell isn't the craziest depiction we've seen in the series, we'll get to that later, but it's still very cool with a lot of eye candy to enjoy. The combat here is great, and there's a lot of it with many intense arenas to clear. There's also some pretty good secrets in this level, but of course, with it being an open layout, there's again a lot of map checking and backtracking to cover everything. It's not as offensive as Siege Part 1, and it flows a lot better, but it's still an issue. That's really the only downside for me though. This is a great level. Alright, we've officially hit the halfway mark. From this point forward, ranking these levels became increasingly difficult because they are all just bangers. But at number 30, it's Reclaimed Earth. Just like with the World Spear, I don't remember loving this level on my first playthrough, but this time, I really enjoyed it. Great combat throughout, which is the standard at this point, in multiple crazy arenas. Fun level with good pacing and a nice challenge without too much annoying bullshit. Worst thing about it is the visuals. They're not bad, they just kind of play it safe with nothing very memorable or crazy to see. Small gripe, this is a good level. 29 is Kattingir's Sanctum from 2016. This is the very first time we step into hell in this new Doom trilogy, and goddamn, it does not disappoint. After all the previous levels at the UAC, this is such a breath of fresh demonic air, and it's the point where 2016 really starts to ramp things up. The visuals are obviously fantastic, there's finally some actual intense combat, and plenty of fun secrets. Let's go. The fact that you have to go back to the UAC after this is such a bummer. I want to stay in hell, damn it. At 28, it's Doom Hunter Base. I want to gush about the storytelling in this level. You navigate through this sick-ass demon Tesla factory following the process of how the Doom Hunter is built, which is metal as fuck, and then finish up the level getting to fight one, and then two more. It's really damn cool and does a lot for the overall impression of the level. The visuals in this place are also crazy. I tell you, these Hellfolk, they really got an eye for design. This shit is sleek. Like, it's so cool. There's some great combat, fun secrets, and a lot of platforming. The platforming does hurt the pacing of the level per usual, but it makes sense here, and I found it more fun than annoying. Really cool one. And right behind Doom Hunter Base at 27 is Ark Complex. I like this level. It has some very high highs, but also some lows. The combat is some of the best in Eternal, especially this arena right here. It's basically constant combat throughout the level, except for this bit platforming up the buildings, which is probably the worst part. But there's also some arenas with everyone's favorite purple goop. And while I think it's a cool idea, it doesn't make the fights any more fun. We also get the Marauder introduction at the end of the level, which is a pretty memorable moment.
You were never one of us.
And we can't forget about our boy, the GOAT, the intern.
Can I just say that it is an honor for me, personally, to meet you?
Basically an A-tier level with some unfortunate blemishes that bring it down for me. At 26, it's Titan's Realm. Of all 60 levels in this ranking, there were 3 that I scored a 10 out of 10 on visuals, and this was one of them. Every time I play this level, I end up spending way more time in those early areas just checking everything out. There's some loud shit to see. Doesn't get old for me. And then along with that, we're treated to the best combat in 2016 up to this point. It's not as good as mid to late game Eternal or Dark Ages levels, but it's fun and challenging with great arena layouts. I don't really have anything bad to say about this level. The only thing holding it back for me is its gameplay highs just don't quite reach the highs of the rest of the list. And at 25, it's Vega Central Processing. Alright, we're at the point where 2016's combat peaks. While it's not the highest rated 2016 level for me, there's a solid argument to be made that this level has the best combat in the game. There's 2 main arenas here with tons of enemies and demon variety. The one at the end of the train ride, I was just dumping out BFG shots because it really didn't feel like I had any other choice. It's crazy, intense, and good fun. I also really like the icy visuals with Vega more or less existing in a freezer for cooling. Pretty unique. This is just a really well-paced level that is a ton of fun the whole way through. At 24, we've got Reckoning, the final Dark Ages level. Final battle before this seemed like it would be the end of the game with its boss fights, but nope, we get another full-on open layout level right after. And I'm glad we did because this is a damn good level and ends the game on a high note. I would prefer if it was linear, but it's not a huge level and it flows well. I wasn't too bothered with finding all the secrets either because I was already as upgraded as I wanted to be at this point, so that helped. Obviously the combat is top tier with awesome hell visuals to match, including these crazy flesh bridges that made me do a double take.
Oh god.
It ends on another fight with Azrak and the Witch this time, and this might be my favorite Doom boss fight. Certainly top 3. And that Berserk arena when you first board the ship is stupid fun. It's a great finale to the base game and feels like a victory lap. #23 is Cultist Base. This is such an iconic Eternal level and was the point where Eternal really seemed to cement its identity. I mean, it's got everything. Crazy arenas, clever secrets and Easter eggs, cool-ass visuals, fun platforming, environmental traps, and unique set-piece encounters. It's a Doom Eternal buffet. Like how 2016 made acquiring the BFG a significant moment, Cultist Base does the same when you get the Super Shotgun. I could see controlling the Revenant not being everybody's cup of tea, but how could you not love the way this fucker kneels down presenting you with the shotgun?
Thanks, bud.
The reason this isn't higher is it's still early in the game, so the combat has room to get better, and it's just a bit too long. Took me a little over an hour in this playthrough. It's great the whole way through, but I think it's just a tad too much. Coming in at 22 is Necroval, Part 2. I really struggled on where to put this one. It jumped all up and down the list for me. I personally really like it, but according to my scores, it is an objectively worse level than the rest of the list, and I've still placed it higher than the previous 8 levels, which were all higher or equal scores. I don't think the Necroval levels should have been split into parts. They could have cut some of the filler bits and made one kick-ass level. And it would have made sense with the whole soul extraction storytelling going on. Part 2 gets the shit end of the stick, being shorter, less cool, and less fun than Part 1. Now, that all sounds pretty negative, but make no mistake, this is still one hell of a level with some fun combat, challenging arenas, and wild visuals. There's a reason I like it so much, despite it technically scoring worse than some of the previous entries. At 21, we've got our second Revelations level with Hell's Core. It's the first level with the new spear, and boy was I struggling to ditch that shield muscle memory. I was dying a lot, but still having fun trying to learn the new tool. I feel like my overall impression would have been better if I was already used to the spear, but I tried my best to not let that affect my thoughts on the level. This is a really cool environment with these icy hellscapes covered in snow and pools of blood. There's really fun and challenging combat here that definitely feels like a step up from the base game, especially with the introduction of the Archvile. They are tough in Revelations. I was getting motherfucked.
I haven't missed you.
There is a bit more downtime than I would like with some puzzles and platforming, but that's really a nitpick. This is a very good level across the board. At number 20, it's the Necropolis, another 2016 level with peak hell visuals. Just like Titan's Realm, I can't help but stop and smell the dead roses in environments like this. I love it. This level is also home to some of 2016's best arenas and some tricky encounters. I died a handful of times throughout, which is usually a good sign in 2016 levels.
No!
I do have one gripe, and that is the ending boss fight with the Hell Guards. Conceptually, one of the most forgettable fights in the series. It's pretty lame.
You're just a worm.
But gameplay-wise, this is another rare Doom boss that I don't mind playing through. Maybe that's because it's easy and there isn't any bullshit. Overall, great level with the visuals being a standout. At number 19, it's Sentinel Command Station. Another linear Dark Ages level that just packs in the fun. It's pretty short at around 20 minutes, but it's nothing but great combat and fun secrets the whole way through. I don't have anything bad to say about it. I guess these interior visuals, while looking great, aren't as cool to me as Hell or the Cosmic Realm, but that really comes down to taste. It's not the most memorable level, but it is one of the most fun. This is the first of only 6 levels that I scored as a 9 out of 10 on fun. Great time. Coming in at number 18 is Belly of the Beast. The majority of this level takes place inside of Cthulhu. So yeah, it's fucking awesome. Wild concept for a level with equally crazy combat to match. Homeboy must have the gnarliest stomach cramps of all time with this shit going on up in him. There's some crazy fights in here, especially this acid circle room. I wish they had gone a little more nuts with the visuals inside this dude, but it's still neat. Also, I love this bit at the end when you destroy his brain and heart organ thing, and then burst out of him straight into more combat with the music kicking in. Proper Doom moment.
I'm bursting out of him. Right into a fight. That's so fucking awesome.
This is another really fun, well-paced level. Don't really have any negatives. At 17, we've got the Carthul Marshes. It feels weird putting this one so high up because it's a pretty standard level, but golly is it fun. This is the second level taking place in Dark Ages Cosmic Realm, and them visuals still be hitting. This is another open layout with a couple of objectives to complete before heading to the final arena and finishing the level. It flows really well with minimal backtracking and is full of combat throughout. There's also a couple of secret rooms that really mess with your sense of direction and gravity. That endless spiral room never ceases to fuck me up.
No.
I've been critical of puzzles like this already, but these are so clever and feel right at home in this world. It's hard not to like them. Awesome level. Whoa! At Suite 16, we have our final Ancient Gods level with Atlantica facility. The first, and in my opinion, best Eternal DLC level. Why this one works for me above Blood Swamps and the Holt is they really, and I mean really, stepped up the combat in both length and intensity, but did so without yet introducing the annoying new bullshit enemies like the Spirits or Bloodmakers. Yeah, there's a double Marauder encounter in the final arena, and I still don't think those work, but everything else, chef's kiss insanity in the best way. It's a lot though, just one insane arena after another, and that's Slayer Gate. Not as gnarly as the Holt's Slayer Gate, but still pushes Eternal's combat to the limit. There's also that cool underwater moment with the big ass shark lurking around. And perhaps best of all, the intern is back. For me, this level is where Eternal's combat peaks and remaining fun, but also challenging without overstepping into annoying territory, like the rest of the DLC. Really good stuff. Number 15. Number 15 is Resurrection. He's back, baby, and he kinda looks like Human Shrek. So like Reckoning from earlier, this is a late game open layout level that ends with a boss fight. But this one just works a bit better for me. There's a bunch of arenas and all of them are full of some of the best combat in the game. The atmosphere is also awesome and really feels like you're coming in clutch in this epic finale. There's a quick dragon section here that's actually kind of fun, flying up to the Creedmaker's ship. And boy, does that fool get it bad. His boss fight is another one that I don't mind playing through. I don't love it, but I would rather it be here than not. The level is basically peak across the board, but again, the open layout and backtracking hurt the pacing if you're trying to grab everything. The secrets are fantastic though, so it at least felt rewarding. At 14, we've got Hellbreaker. This is 13 minutes of the Slayer role-playing as a battering ram, and if you don't think that sounds fun, you'd be wrong. The level is basically a straight line with you charging your way up to this Hell Fortress to face Azrak. Turns out he's not home. It kicks off with an Atlan section, and while the melee combat is still limited, it immediately felt better than the previous Atlan bit because you already know what you're doing and it's in Hell. Sorry, but Hell is just cooler than Hebeth.
Like, look at that shit.
But the real kicker is when you get this building-sized shotgun that annihilates Titans in a single shot.
Dude, this thing rips.
So damn awesome. The devs really let you blow off some steam here. Your boot's on the ground the rest of the level, and it's just constant combat as you charge your way up to the fortress. I could see this not being that popular of a pick with the Atlan section and it being so short, but I love these bite-sized levels that cut the bullshit and are just fun the entire time. And Hellbreaker is the best version of that. At lucky number 13, we've got our final Doom 2016 level of the list and the final level of that game, Argent Anur. I mean, what can I say? It's nothing but arenas, sick-ass visuals, and a boss fight against that saggy old bitch Olivia.
They made you a nasty spider.
It's a great ending to 2016 that stomps on the gas and doesn't let up. The boss fight could be better, but other than that, it's basically a perfect Doom level. The only reason it's this far down the list is because even at its peak, I just don't feel that 2016 reaches the same highs as Dark Ages and Eternal. I'm sure that's blasphemy to some of you. Sound off down in the comments. At number 12, we've got Proving Grounds from Revelations. This is the first level of the DLC and more or less serves the purpose of getting you reacclimated with Dark Ages. It's the only Revelations level to feel like base game Dark Ages, but it ends up being one of the best ones. Right away, this felt polished in a way that the Eternal DLC never did to me. It's impressive stuff, and that year-and-a-half wait for this suddenly made sense. This is a linear level overflowing with fun, challenging combat, awesome hell visuals that feel like a slight step up from the base game, and secrets that actually feel like secrets as they're no longer revealed on the map. There's also the new Unicycle Demon that I fuck with, and the Henchman.
Oh my god, fuck yeah.
Badass level that really sets the tone for how much of a treat Revelations is. And at number 11, it's more Revelations with Osius. What a banger this is. Firstly, these visuals are unlike anything we've seen in the entire trilogy. Reminds me of Bashinsky paintings like these. Crazy stuff. Osius is full of ball-crushing combat that demands competence with the spear. I was finally getting the hang of it at this point, so this was a nice test. I still died a lot, but I was having fun. Revelations really has a thing for puzzles, and there's no shortage of them here.
Broken record at this point, but they still kill the pacing and aren't my favorite, but the combat and visuals are just so damn good that this level still lands at number 11. If I was just going off my category scores, it would be in the top 10. It's that good. And speaking of top 10, here we are. Coming in at number 10, it's Mars Core. What a safari this one is. You start out on this UAC base on Phobos with one of the best Doom cutscenes ever. Blow a hole in Mars with the BFG, traverse this destroyed space station and launch yourself out of a cannon, then take an escape pod right into the core of Mars and fuck shit up in Hebeth. 3 completely different environments all packed into a 45-minute level. At this point in the list, it goes without saying, but the combat is fantastic, the visuals are stunning, it's full of unique moments, and is a ton of fun. My one gripe was during a few of the heavier platforming segments on the destroyed space station, they get mixed with combat, and I don't think it works very well. But other than that, basically a perfect level. Number 9, we've got City of Ryul, our introduction to Doom's cosmic realm. On a first playthrough, this moment is awesome with you not knowing what you're in for. Visually and design-wise, it's so different than the other environments we've gotten used to, with its crazy architecture, massive scale, and spooky boys floating around in the distance. And on top of that, it's a really fun level. Not overly long and keeps you guessing with its environment, new enemies, and fun puzzles that don't overdo it. I really don't have much else to say. It excels at everything I was judging these levels on. At number 8, it's back to Necroval, but part 1 this time. Remember how I was gushing about the storytelling in Doom Hunter base? Well, Necroval follows the same idea, except this time, it's Hell's soul harvesting process, which is just as metal as it sounds. It's like touring Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, except he's harvesting souls instead of making everlasting gobstoppers. He was probably harvesting souls too. This place is fucked up, and treats us to some of, if not the most sinister hell visuals in any of these games. Look at how fucked up this is. And once again is full of intense combat to match the evil vibes. This level would still be great even if it was set in the most boring environment ever, but we really get the best of both worlds with peak gameplay and peak visuals. Still wish they had just combined part 1 and 2 though. And at number 7, it's the final Revelations level with Uprising. Alright, visually this is nothing new with more Sentinel Fortress interiors and exteriors. But that is the only thing average about this level. The combat is truly in another league, producing multiple moments where there was so much chaos, I couldn't even tell what was going on. I mean, just look at this. And that Hell's Champions fight? Good grief, Batman. Hell's Champions? The Spear has a way of marrying the gameplay of Dark Ages and Eternal, and it absolutely peaks in this level. It's so good. The level wraps with a fight against the henchmen who we met back in Proving Grounds, and son of a bitch, it's actually a good fight. It was certainly a challenge, and I was just barely squeezing through these phases with only 5 HP. Twice. Get him, get him, get him, get him! 5 HP again, dude. But this one stayed in the fun zone and never turned into frustrating bullshit. Uprising is a fantastic end to the masterwork that is the Revelations DLC. I'll be hopping back in for a Nightmare run very soon. At number 6, it's the Spire of Narathul. What an epic level this is. Things kick off on this small island in the middle of an ocean surrounded by storms and typhoons. Reminds me of that island Harry and the Dursleys ran away to. That's cool on its own, but this place ain't what it seems.
According to the Makers, inside this tomb is a deity.
After this shit drains, there's all kinds of eye candy with the level having this rotting ocean vibe, complete with shipwrecks and barnacles everywhere. Really cool stuff. This ends up being a pretty long level with multiple large-scale arenas and riding your dragon around to get to objectives. Yeah, more dragon stuff, but it's really inoffensive, more or less just acting as transportation. This is also the moment where we finally snag the BFC and get to play with it a bit. This is one hell of a level that really delivers an epic experience front to back. And we can't forget about that ending with the Slayer doing Slayer things, piggyback riding Cthulhu like a fucking Uber to the cosmic realm. Cherry on top. Jesus. And at number 5, we're sticking to Dark Ages with the Temple of Lamarith. I do not know if I'm saying this one right. Temple of Lamarith? Whatever. Take that rotting ocean vibe and stir it up with the cosmic realm, and that's this level. Undeniably cool. This one isn't some crazy epic journey like the previous,
but it's basically nothing but the coolest shit the entire way through. Tons of great combat, creative secrets, and literally some of my favorite visuals in all of the games. These bits where you're swimming in these spooky dark oceans through these ships looks utterly insane.
Dude, oh! Spooky. Dude, that looks real. That looks fucking real.
Now, this level doesn't have the best combat, and the pacing does have some issues, but that doesn't stop it from being one of my favorites. It's a really memorable level for me and delivers a unique and really fun experience. It's not as objectively good as some of the previous levels, but I still like it more.
Oh my god.
At number 4, we've got Urdak. It's weird, I've played through Eternal multiple times over the years and remember Urdak being good, but nothing special. Well, this time around, I was pleasantly surprised to find that Urdak is a total banger. This level of Eternal combat with these enemies and this arena length is the sweet spot for me. Challenging even on ultra violence, but stays firmly planted in the fun zone. Urdak also serves as our introduction to the world of the Makers, or Doom Heaven. Is that fair to say, Doom lore nerds? Doom Heaven? This is about what I would expect from a Doom depiction of heaven. It's really neat and kinda psychedelic in a way. Certainly a nice palate cleanser from all the gnarly demonic shit. Urdak does throw some platforming at you, and it's not the best, not the worst. But it is cool with you quickly zipping around this place. And of course, there's the Conmaker fight. It's a straightforward fight, not annoyingly difficult, so I don't dread replaying it, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's one of the good ones. The rest of the level is just so perfect though. Not even a mid-boss fight can pull it down. And at number 3, it's Harbor of Souls from Dark Ages. I mean, this is the level where the fucking zombie slayer fights his way out of limbo, steals some soul ship, and smashes his way back into the living realm.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
How could this not be my number 1 Dark Ages level? Yeah, the premise rips, but so does the level's pacing, combat, visuals, and exploration. There are other Dark Ages levels that do some of these things better, but for me, Harbor of Souls is the most consistently good in every way. I also think it's one of the most memorable levels in the game, really delivering a complete package. I don't have any downsides with this one. This is proper dooming to the highest degree. I ain't ever gonna pay that fairy fee. At number 2, it's Final Sin from Doom Eternal. So just like with Urdak, in my multiple Eternal playthroughs, I don't remember being that impressed with Final Sin. But that sure wasn't the case this time. The arenas in this one. Good grief, I forgot how insane these were. So much fun, no annoying bullshit, tons of enemies, just peak Eternal combat. This might be the most combat-focused level in Eternal. Not much exploration, not much downtime, just the Slayer getting after it for 30 minutes straight. And of course, we can't forget about the Icon of Sin. I feel like the best thing I can say about these Doom bosses is, I don't mind this one. But that is once again the case. I don't mind the Icon of Sin fight, and I think it's one of the better ones because it kinda doubles as an arena at the same time. It's also damn cool how you have to destroy his different body parts and how fucked up he is by the end. Wraps the game up perfectly. Final Sin, baby. It's a banger.
Oh my god, now they're empowered? Help me!
And now, ripping and tearing its way straight into number 1 is Super Gornest. Super motherfucking Gornest, pussies. Was there any doubt? The ranking was changing constantly the whole time I was writing this script, but Super Gornest, shit started up top and stayed there. This level is home to my favorite visuals in any Doom game, period.
I mean, come on, dude. It just doesn't get much better than this.
The artist must have been having a blast making this, and you can feel it. Just a crazy lava-filled, gore-infested city. And what a fun place this is, overflowing with unique encounters, sick arenas, and almost too many secrets. And you know, it's not perfect. I'm not the biggest fan of the rad suit bits, and it's a little long. But if I'm looking at the whole list, there's just something special about Super Gornest, dude. The gameplay on offer here is what Doom Eternal is all about, and it's shown off perfectly. I'm basically out of ways to say that these levels are great at this point, so I'll just say this. Super Gornest is Doom as fuck, and I love it. Thanks, Hugo.
Splat.
And there she is, fellas. Every modern Doom level ranked. This ended up being way harder than I anticipated.
The vast majority of these levels are all so good, so it was really hard to settle on an order. I was constantly second guessing myself with levels jumping all up and down the list, right up to the point I finished writing. But at the end of the day, this is just an excuse to talk about these games that I like, so I hope you enjoyed listening to my opinions. Now go unleash your hate in the comments. Can't wait to read it. Again, thank you to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Don't forget to play it for free on PC, PlayStation, Xbox, or mobile now by using my links in the pinned comment or video description. New and returning players that haven't played in 6 months will also receive a massive bonus pack across PC and consoles, including multiple premium vehicles and more. Available for a limited time only, so don't miss it, nerds. Shout out to the patrons on screen now. An extra special shout out to the producers: Anthony Hawkins, the Day One Goat; Sean, my abusive manager; Jakey Poo, aka Jake the Snake; my special friend Grubba; Sir MK, follower of Aunt Capone; and Bill Butt Crimes. Don't turn your back on him. As always, thank you for watching. Links to Patreon, one-on-one YouTube coaching, and Discord are down in the description. And I'll see y'all next week when I do a guest appearance on Magic the Gaslighting. Later, nerds.